What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Wooden Work podcast. I am Josh from Josh Taylor Construction.
And I'm Paul, JCR Builds in the UK.
We are broadcasting live from opposite sides of the globe. You will get no lies, no bullshit. You only get the truth around here. Guys, it's really important if you can leave us a 5-star review on Amazon and Spotify, leave a comment. We'll be very grateful. If you've got any questions, please get in contact with us on any social media platform.
Welcome. Today it is just myself, Paul, hosting. But we have a guest on. We have Tim from Turgworks. Good evening, and thank you for joining us, Tim.
Good evening. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, mate.
You all right?
Much
So
appreciated.
it's all right. So can you just tell everyone who you are, where you are, what it is you do, type thing?
Yeah,
to
no
start with?
problem. I've got a Instagram called Turgworks. That's been going about 6 years. I basically it's just a part-time woodworker, really. I've got it to a point now where I'm sort of it's paying for itself. I'm getting a few bits of free product, free tools. So that's what I set out for in the first place, really, just so I could sort of self-fund it. And we're sort of just about getting there, really. It wouldn't hurt to make a few more quid at it, obviously, but that's the same for everyone, isn't it?
It's always the ideal. So I've noticed on your Instagram doing a carving of a shark.
Yeah.
So could you just tell us a bit about that you've been doing?
Yeah, so I've got three lads, and my youngest one is it just likes any sort of animal that'll eat a person. So dinosaurs, crocodiles, sharks, and I just got this idea in my head that I'd sort of make a wooden shark for his bedroom wall. So I just I probably used too nice a piece of wood, really, because it were a really highly figured, nice piece of ash that I got from
Right.
Sam at Monkey Boy's workshop. And
Oh, you
now
know
you
Sam,
can't
yeah?
really. Yeah, you can't actually see. You can see the wood grain, but I should have used something a lot plainer and cheaper, really.
Yeah.
So that started out as I just bandsawed like this silhouette of a shark, and then the side fin. I still haven't learned all the parts of sharks, really. The dorsal fin, it had that on. That's just part
Right.
of the cutout, and then like the front shark fin. I just cut that out again at bandsaw, glued it on. Just did the old wood glue and then a bit of CA glue to stick it on.
Yeah.
Thanks
So
to Woodwork Supply there for the glue.
yeah, the O3A adhesive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really good stuff as well. I like it. I had Starbond before, but I found it quite brittle, to be honest. But I think this stuff's just a better product all around, and it's
I mean,
English, in it.
yeah, I mean, I've not used the Starbuns, to be fair. It's not a brand that I've ever really come across in, I've been doing this 20 odd year now. But yeah, Wayne
Yeah.
sent me some of the O3A. Well, actually, I bought a set a while ago, a couple of years ago, I bought some. And then Wayne recently sent me some more. And as you say, it's brilliant stuff. The only thing I don't like about it is like with normal super glue, you can get your hands apart if you stick them. But with this O3A stuff,
Yeah.
if you stick your fingers together or stick it to something, you can't get it off, can you?
Oh yeah, no, I've ripped a lot of finger skin off with that stuff. I know you've just got to. You can. I did try. What is it? Nail polish remover, but it takes that long. You might as well just rip it off and grow skin back. It's
Yeah,
because like
no, it's. I always say to everyone now that. Go on.
Sorry, I lost you a
Go
bit
ahead.
there, but yeah. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
just go.
like there's acetone as well. That's meant to bring it off. But I think Starbond make a releasing agent, if I'm not mistaken. So might have
Yeah, I
to have a
think they
little
do. Yeah,
word with Wayne and see if he's going to make one.
yeah,
Because
that
that'd
might
be
be
nice, wouldn't it?
not a bad call actually. But anyway, yeah. So you cut it out in the bandsaw anyway. This shark, I love sharks. And
Yeah.
so how have you actually carved the shape of the actual to get like the roundness and the teeth and all that? How have you actually gone on and done that?
I started off with just a really cheap wood carving disc. I think it was from Tool Station or something. In the angle grinder, just got it sort of roughly sort of what's the word, half round,
Yeah.
all the way through its length, and then I used that to just get everything rough shaped in, and then I set about it with a little half round rasp I've got, and then one at lad to work with. He's got like he bought a Dremel, but bought everything you can get for a Dremel all at once. Don't use it, so he lent me that. And I should, to be fair, I think I said it in video as well. I should have just started with the Dremel in the first place, just angle grinded most of it out and then just Dremeled it because it's that much faster. It's ridiculous. I wasted a lot
Yeah.
of time just trying to rasp it in and stuff, but
Yeah.
you
I
live
mean,
and
must
learn,
admit,
don't you?
I mean, I've only got a. We were speaking about them the other week actually, because I mean, I've only got a cheap no make rotary tool,
Yeah,
and but Mark from Peachtree Crafting, because he's big into his Dremels. He's one of the he's one of the ambassadors for Dremel UK, and he
right,
sent
okay.
me very kindly. He sent me a load of the EZ click bits, so they like all the different cutting wheel. They're brilliant. They are so good.
Yeah,
The decent bits. And like now, I mean, I'm seeing the value of a Dremel, definitely, for moving forward for doing other projects.
yeah. It were always one of the. I was same as you. I think I got sent one by Mano years and years ago, but it was 14 quid for a rotary tool, but I think it was made by Wolf or something. So you can imagine how good it was. It, like instantly gave you like white knuckle. It were an absolute nightmare. Sorry, my phone keeps falling over. I ain't got a stand for it. So that sort of put me off because I've got quite bad hands from work anyway, from using nut knockers too much, and that it was just making it unbearable. So I always just sort of tied them all with the same brush and thought I'm not going to bother with a Dremel, but I'm really glad I did, and I've just been given. I don't know the word for them, but it's sort of like the uprated version, what you'd have above a Dremel. So it's just basically a motor that you hang up and then a big flexi shaft off it. It does the same
Oh,
job,
yeah.
but it's just beefier, just a bigger bit of kit. So I'm looking forward to getting that set up and used, to be honest, and then get some proper like burrs, some like the Kutzall ones or saber tooth ones, because I've obviously
Yeah.
gone on a deep dive and watched everything on YouTube about carving with Dremels now. So there's a lad called, is it Matt Carves? He's in New Zealand and his videos are absolutely brilliant. Just some of them can be a little bit sort of dull, but he's really good. He's just explains everything like just. I think a lot of those you're going to get like a lot of beginners looking at them, aren't you? Because you'll just set off with a Dremel and then you'll pick it up pretty quick, really. But they're really well shot and really well sort of. He explains stuff brilliantly and goes through all the bits. He's got a video for basically every bit you can get for a rotary tool, so they're
Oh,
really helpful.
I'll have to check that out because I couldn't find an awful lot when I was looking. I mean, let's say mine's only a cheap ass. It's not a Dremel. It's a
Yeah,
knockoff. But when that dies, I will be getting a Dremel 100% now.
yeah.
But as you said, there's not a great deal out on YouTube as a resource, is
No,
there, for looking for? So I'll definitely I'll have a look at his and I'll drop a link to his channel in the comments as well for anybody wanting to check that out. But yeah, I've seen those the Kutzall discs you were saying, because I don't know if you've seen Richard Wyatt on Instagram. He's I've spoken to Richard quite a lot over the last couple of years. He's a
is that
Welsh
what his
lad, but he
account's
lives out
called?
in Richard White. I don't know what it's called. I have to check now. I just
Yeah,
I just
I'm
know him
terrible
for
with names, so I can only just about remember
Well,
Instagram names, and that's about
I
it.
mean that's it, because the thing is, half our names we don't use our actual names on our Richard underscore A underscore Wyatt. He's
Right,
actually
okay.
a Welsh lad, but he lives over in Chicago.
Ah, right, okay.
Anyway, he makes a lot of coffee spoons and the likes of nice intricate wooden spoons, and he's been using, as
Yeah,
you said, one of the little Kutzall burr things for
yeah.
the ink. So I'm going to be getting one of them at some point because I want to have a go at that. But anyway,
Yeah.
um,
No, they look amazing. Those things, it'd speed job up no end. Because I was just using the little diamond tipped ones. I think it were a bit like, 'cause I had some left over from when they had the wolf on, and they were just dirt cheap Amazon things.
Mm.
But seeing like people who actually know what they're doing using the Kutzall ones, it's unbelievable how fast it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's the old thing, though. I mean, you say decent tools, they are worth the weight in gold. And I think it's a lot more with things like blades and 'cause effectively the cut saw bits or whatever, they're actually blades, aren't they, of some description.
Yeah,
And
of course, yeah.
yeah, and obviously a decent quality blade makes a lot of difference to, you're not, you're not trying to cut with a piece of plasticine.
No,
Um,
that I've been
but you,
getting by with that for years.
yeah, but you were
Using a
saying
good
as well
good blade and a tool.
that I've seen on your Instagram that as well as obviously the carve it up challenge, which Axminster Tools are running to win some Arbataki gear.
Yeah,
You said I've seen you said you've also sort of like knocking 3 or 4 comps into one if you like, and you sort of also was it what's his name? Danamaid. You said he's doing
yeah,
a
Mark,
off.
yeah.
Is it offcuts challenge or something? He runs or something, isn't it?
Offcut's only 23. I think he's done one
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, I think he did one last year, but again, it's one of those. I think there's quite a few challenges which will bring us round to somebody else to talk about in a minute. But yeah, so
Yeah.
you've done the shark as part of that as well, haven't you? Sort of like try and kill several birds with one stone and
Yeah.
see if we can get
It,
some more.
well, yeah, I'm
Tied
just
him
trying
well,
to
didn't
get
he?
a bit
Really?
more action, really. Yeah, whatever the word is, traffic. But that I am planned for that because it is technically an offcut. It's stuff I had left over from when I made a table for last year's Maker Central. I had a bit of it's a piece of wood that I cut in half. The log I cut in half by hand. I don't know if you saw that video, but that's one that everyone seems to remember. I used some of that ash from Sam. It's a couple of years old now. And because the ash was so nice, it was sort of nicer than the actual wood I used for the top. It was just sycamore, like a big sycamore cross-cut cookie sort of thing.
Nice.
And this shark was made out of the offcuts from the legs, so it is technically an offcut. But it's a nice bit of offcut, if you know what I mean. Yeah. It's not what I were going to chuck out. Or
no, but I mean that's a very broad term as well, saying a piece of wood's an offcut because effectively any piece of wood that you mill is an offcut.
Well, as soon as you cut tree down, it's an offcut, isn't it? Because you've cut it off. So it's but it works well. That.
So your workshop, you have it's a shed, is it? Is it a shed or a garage?
It's just a single garage, single skim brick garage that beginning of lockdown I got a load of floorboards out of like a 1930s semi nearby that my mate were gutting. So I've just clad as much of it inside. So a lot of people think it's a shed, but it's just a clad
garage.
It's a garage, yeah. It's just as a better backdrop, really.
Yeah, well, I knew you definitely of a as we say, well, like a home workshop, isn't it? I suppose we'd call it, because it's more of a
yeah.
As you say, it's a hobbyist. I mean, of course, the thing is, it's always hard trying to explain things as well, because obviously we're trying to. I know what it looks like because I've seen pictures on your Instagram, but then obviously the person that's listening to this on Audible can't see the Instagram account.
Yeah, it's
it's one of those tricky ones.
It's basically they just need to imagine it's got really old floorboards on the walls, and then a lot of tools on those walls that I never ever touch, and the rest of the tools are just on the workbench, and the floor's covered in wood normally. Well, they're pretty tidy at a minute.
I was going to say, because didn't you tidy it recently? Because I think I see one of your posts every now and again where you've actually sort of tidied up your workshop, and you found all sorts of stuff that you've got no idea what the fuck it is, or where it's come from, or what the. I've bought another. I mean, I must admit, when I tidy up my workshop, which is mine's a double bedroom, like, and when I last tidied it up, I found one of the first Festool. The original Festool Rail Square, so not the FSO one.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah,
130 quid in a sustainer, foam, in a sustainer with foam, brand new, never used it. I'd forgotten I'd bought it, and I tied up. I was like, "What's in this?" Because all my boxes are labelled that, so I know what's what. And I opened it up, I'm like,
All right.
"All right." I sold it because I've got the newer version as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, because
That's
you
all right,
found
then.
some.
It's like money in the bank.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a feeling it was probably a Friday night purchase when I bought it, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Seeing
yeah.
a post on Facebook, I obviously had a bevy or whatever. But yeah, it always makes me laugh when we tidy up workshops and like your post when. I mean, sometimes you can't even see your workbench, can you? I mean, let's face it.
No,
It's
very rarely. Yeah, it's pretty well covered now, but it's covered in sharpening stuff because I did sort of half sharpen my chisels, so I'm going to get back to that when I get a
so.
chance.
What has been your sort of favourite things to make, or what are your sort of what do you enjoy doing as a general rule? Isn't it you go to if you?
Uh, I am pretty lazy, so anything that I don't really need to glue up or wait to do, if I could just get in there, because with having kids and everything, they're all busy with the sports and whatever. So I'm basically just taxiing them between sporting events in most of my free time. I'll get like maybe an hour, hour and a half, 2 or 3 times a week. So it's got to be something I can do pretty quick to keep me interested. Although I have just started like a furniture project for my mate, but I just know it's going to take weeks and weeks. But when you add all hours up, it's only probably about 12 hours. But because it's spread over 4 weeks, you feel like it's taking you ages. So, but I do really like making serving boards and charcuterie boards, but I just don't want to really get labelled as that. So,
Yeah,
I'll make them. I'll make them for like if someone actually asks me for one, or there's an event and they want a raffle prize or something, I tend to make them for that. But I made probably favorite thing I make are like these magnetic knife boards, which it's not far off a charcuterie board really, apart from it's got buried magnets in, and it's a shop in Ilkley sells them called Community Cutlery, and they're always fun to make because you can sort of get into run of it, get a bit of a production line running.
mm.
So get them all planed up, sanded, drill out backs out, glue out magnets in, plug them. Then you just down to like finishing and branding them, and then people are always chuffed to bits with them. They come out really well then.
Because those are the sort of things. Because obviously, I can't remember who was I talking to now the other week. Oh, it was Craig from what's his name? Stack Workshop. And
Oh
again,
yeah, yeah,
we were talking about it's the same old thing that because he was asking me about pricing structures of things like the chopping boards and what have you. Because obviously, and I sort of said the problem is with the thing, it's like because if you're making one board, it takes so much longer, doesn't it? Because you're only doing the one board.
yeah,
So you need to make more of them. 'Cause the problem being, again, is as you say, because you want to try effectively, you need to keep the costs down to make it so you can be competitive in selling them because
yeah.
there's that many people making them. And I mean, some people will say, and we were talking about because I know we had Pat on also from like Keep Pushing It Woodworks on. He does.
Right, okay.
I don't know if you've seen his Instagram or not. He's quadriplegic, and he makes all these
All right,
posh
okay.
and he makes all these posh
No, I
end
don't think
grain
I do.
cutting boards.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, he's making some lovely boards. So he's in where's he now? He's in Vegas. I think he was in Vegas, and yeah, so but he ships them all over the world, and he's selling his for like $300-400 plus shipping.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know what it
yeah,
is
we
like. It
can't sell
seems
them for
like
30 quid.
no. I got two like I got like quite a. It was really like warped elm slab, and I made two boards out of that, and I put them on my website, which I don't ever bother with, and they were like 160 quid, and I thought, I think that's fair enough. Like, I mean, I didn't pay for wood, but someone did do, so I might as well like
Hmm,
you just include it in price, don't you? You're not giving it
absolutely,
away.
yes. Yeah.
Um, and I thought that worked because I added hours up, and I thought, yeah, that's fair enough. And then stick a bit on, just for your sort of profit margin sort of thing.
Hmm.
And they didn't shift. I ended up giving them both away. Gave one to Welsh Thomas.
Oh yeah.
It's what get it. Like pretty much every maker central he's been to, he ends up giving me some slabs of wood. So I thought I better take him some down to
Yeah.
make up for it. Like so, yeah, he got one, and then some sort of family friends got one because they lent us their house on the East Coast for an holiday. So you just end up giving away. But it's one of them. I haven't really lost out. Funnily enough, those were my first 2 carving projects. So that's what I got that carving disc for.
Yeah. So yeah, I bought I had one of these sort of non-branded off Amazon, and I say I put it in the grinder straight down. It must have digged in. The bit wasn't clamped properly. That bounced down. The workpiece bounced down, hit the table, came up, hit my middle knuckle. That split. That just exploded. The disc, the grinder, then hit the workbench, came back up, bounced, and I pretty much skinned from my knuckle on my first finger, the main one, all the way down. I don't know if you can quite see all that scar tissue. That the entire
Right,
finger's scar
yeah.
tissue. But no, literally, it was the full bone, and you can see all my tendons on my middle finger to everything. I walked in, we had on my t-shirt, and Mrs. was like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, no, look. I went, oh, shit. And I said, look,
Yeah.
you see the inside of my hand and everything. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, it didn't hurt. Well, it didn't hurt because I've got nerve blocks in that side anyway. So I physically couldn't feel. So I couldn't feel any pain. Just my hand was literally hanging off. So that was, yeah. So I would not recommend a cheap, no brand, unbranded carving disc to anybody at all.
Yeah,
personally.
what style was it that? Did it have one with the blades on? Like a turbo blade? Or like the gritty
it was like,
one?
it looked like it had a load of sort of pimples on it almost. So it was
That's
a bit of a dome and a pimple one. But no, I mean, obviously Cuts will do a good one because they're reputable brands. Arbateki, they do is it the turbo plane or something? The Arbateki?
Yeah, I think it is them because I've got I forgot I used some of their stuff on the Shark because my brother gave me his. I don't know why he's got some because he doesn't even do woodworking, but he had the ball one and then the one that's it's just like a round shaft with a blade on the top. I don't even know what you use that for. I think it's for like
ball
lines
gouge
and stuff. But the ball gouge is good. But then there's another one that's
turbo
just like cylindrical.
Shaft. Yeah,
I went into that one so much.
Turbo shaft. That's for like do you know if you say you're gonna put if you just put a straight flute bit into a router and you're just gonna sort of like flatten it or something. So that's the same thing because it's got the blade on the top, so you can sort of like just cut straight. If you get me.
Right. Okay.
So,
yeah. That one. That's why we're no use to me.
Aye.
Right.
But no, I've got a few of the Arbateki bits. I really rate them. So I've got the ball gouge. I've done loads of the ball gouge. I think that's brilliant. The ball gouge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I like the contour sander. I've got one of them. That's really good. You know,
right.
The contour. For getting it inside bowls and little trays. The only thing, the negative about that is you've got to use their sandpaper because if you put any other brand of sandpaper or disc on, it just disintegrates within seconds. And I mean, it just disintegrates.
Because it's speed of it.
Yeah, so you have to use theirs, and it's like 20 quid for 10 pieces. So to me,
I wonder if
it's very expensive.
I wonder if you use a variable speed angle grinder, you could get away with using other sandpapers on it. But I mean, then you've got cost of a variable speed angle grinder on you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I thought. I mean, so I need to order some more actually. Everyone out, but and then I've got the power chisel set as well, which is like a big sort of like I don't know. It's like a power. It's a hand tool that looks a bit like a grinder, but then you put chisels, different shape carving chisels in the ends.
Gouges and all that. I've seen SDS chisels. Is that what takes those?
It's sort of like that, but it's not. If you know what I mean. So it looks like an angle grinder, and it still chisels like the SDS hammers function does.
Yeah.
And they have their set of chisels for it. I mean, the set of chisels is about. I mean, that tool with a set of chisels is about 400 quid. I think it's expensive.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But
I suppose it's one of them. If you're carving all day, you need one, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, again, the Arbateki stuff. It's quality gear, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's not cheap crap. I mean, I think the big originally from I think the carve because they do like the power carvings. I think all that is more of a. It's like more of a sort of a subsidiary line because I think they're mainly for more like chainsaws and chainsaw pants and that sort of.
Okay.
I think that's where they're sort of like originally their company umbrella. I mean, if I'm wrong, anybody, let me know in the comments. Put me in my place and tell me I'm talking a load of shit. But yeah, I'm under the impression They are mainly sort of more the chainsaw world, and then because of
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
they've sort of like branched into the carving of woodworking side of a hobbyist
yeah.
because it's more
Are
of
they?
a.
I think they're an Aussie company, aren't they?
I think they are Aussie. I think I always get confused if they're Aussie or Canadian. And the reason I
Right.
say Canadian is because I can never pronounce his name now, but Paliplotti or whatever his name is. He's on
Right.
he's the crazy Canadian, got a big beard, super talented guy. So you know on Jimmy DeResta's show that he did on was it Netflix? The
Oh,
Jimmy DeResta
yeah,
TV?
Pat Lap.
That's him.
Yeah, I can't remember. He don't use that Instagram anymore, does he? But it's like Le Pic Bois or something, wasn't it? Does it mean like
Yeah,
woodpecker in French or something?
yeah, it was something like that. But
I
yeah,
don't know.
I mean
Yeah,
he's a super talented
yeah, yeah,
carver
yeah,
and turner. He's big on the lathe, isn't he? Him.
yeah. He is. Yeah.
He's going to be coming onto the podcast in the near future as well. I still need to
Oh,
organise with
nice.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a super funny guy. He's really nice to talk to.
yeah. He is. I think I've sent him odd message here and then. I don't know if I spoke to him at first, second Maker Central. I think he were there, but
Yeah,
that's
I mean, I've never done a Maker Sense. I've never been. It's not something I've ever been involved with, or maybe this next year because now I'm a bit more sort of on the social media side. I might get a little bit more involved in that side of things, maybe. But yeah, I think he
yeah.
does come over for these sort of things quite a bit because he's quite well regarded within the woodworking community, isn't he? For sure.
Oh, he is. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So the other thing I'd wanted to talk about. So I don't know how many years you've done it for because I've only known you, I think, 18 months or something myself. But I believe tomorrow, the 1st of October, you are launching this year's challenge. Could you
I am.
tell us
Yeah,
what the challenge is? What
yeah.
it's, just tell us about the challenge and when it starts, when it finishes, the rules, and if you have organised the prizes, if you could,
Yeah, I've got
give
some of
people
them
a
in
bit of
place.
a
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no problems. So it's the Scrapwood Build Off 2023. It's third year it's been going now, which is yeah, I can't believe I managed to do it 3 times to be honest. Well, I nearly done it 3 times.
Yeah, it'll have to.
Basically, rules are just use scrap wood to be an element of it, so it doesn't have to be all of it. It's the more scrap wood you use, the better, because the whole idea of it is just to stop usable wood getting chucked away or burnt or whatever else anyone does with wood. Because I started out, I've still not really bought a right lot of wood, but it's all just been stuff I've been given or found or all just free rubbish really. But there's a lot of usable wood out there that we shouldn't really be chucking. So
Absolutely.
that's basically the idea of it. It's just use some scrap wood, and that can be a pallet, it can be firewood, it can be something you've cut out your loft, anything that's you think can be deemed a scrap. That's fine. There's no hard and fast rules about it. It's pretty flexible because I just want to
Just
get people
basically,
making stuff as well.
just as long as people don't actually go to the lumberyard and buy sort of like, I don't know, 3 or 4 grams worth of walnuts and like make a chest of
Yeah,
drawers and think that's
yeah,
okay to
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but if they happen to have a load of walnut and this you make it out the offcuts, that's absolutely fine because that's scrap wood too. But yeah,
yeah,
don't be going and buying wood because it just makes it less accessible for everyone, doesn't it? Because not everyone's got the money to buy wood. Hopefully, they've got money to get some tools together because that's what you need to be spending your money on, not materials that you can get for free. It's as you say, it's going to start on 1st of October. It's going to run till the last day of November. I think that's the 31st. It's it's
I
one
can't
of them.
remember the children's time, how many days there are. So
Yeah,
it's running all of October, November. That's all we need to know.
yeah. So you've got 2 months. We've got it's. I do try and get as many prizes as possible, and last year we did really well. But this year it's going to be a lot bigger. The prizes. We've already got maybe 2 tool companies on board. Got Woodwork Supply on board, O3A Adhesive, Rubio's on board, High Spec Eyewear's on board. I want to get Triton on board, Evolution are on board.
So I mean, all the
I
missing
knew
some
I
great
knew I was
prizes.
going to forget.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
by the time
and
by the time this actually goes out, there will be obviously Tim would have actually finalised all his deals with with all the different companies that are going to be involved. So again, I
hopefully,
shall
yeah.
list them in the comments down below, so you can know exactly what's up. Of course, please also check out Tim's Instagram page for full details, and then obviously you'll see what hashtags and all that we need to use. Because I mean, I
Yeah.
did get involved. I will also be doing a video on my YouTube, which will be going out. In fact, that would be going out today, as this is aired on the day, basically the 1st of October. I will do. There will be a YouTube video going out again. But
Right, nice one.
so we did do. I mean, last year I did a couple of projects, as it turned out. So what entries did you have last year? What sort of things were people putting forward to give people, that are listening ideas to
Yeah.
sort of things that you may possibly make?
Did you make like a big hand carved ball last year, or was that for the Rubio thing?
No, so with mine, I did a floating bedside cabinet with patterned
Oh
plywood
yeah,
edging,
yeah.
and I also did the green oak fruit bowl.
Yeah.
And then I took them to a Rubio training day, and I finished them while at the actual Rubio training day to show people how to use, or how I use Rubio. So I sort of combined quite a few elements at the same time. So again,
Yeah, it's best way, isn't it? Kill a few birds with one stone, isn't it?
well, that's it. I'm just kill about 5 birds, but yeah. So what sort of entries did we get last? What sort of things did people put forward in the entries last year? Because I mean, I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, we had a really smart side table that was all like herringbone pattern glue up. That was from Martin Skelton at Oakfield Creative. Tina, who I can't remember her Instagram account now, but she made a ukulele,
Tina Outhwaite or something, is it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
yeah. Was
which
that
was ridiculous.
ukulele?
I couldn't believe that. Yeah,
was it
and it
ukulele?
worked. It sounded really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on one of the. I actually came across it on one of the Facebook groups. I think it was Woodcrafts and Joinery or something like that. And
right. Okay.
I saw that, and it was proper impressive. It was.
Yeah, really smart. I don't even know if she's made one before, to be honest.
No, that was the first one she'd ever. That was the first musical instrument she's ever made.
Yeah,
and the first something of that. And something she said that was also the first thing of that sort of intricate, because it's a very intricate thing to make a guitar. Because you got to make sure all the frets are right and the thing. Because I've looked at doing something. So I mean, to pull that off is for the first time to that standard it was pretty fucking amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, I might be wrong here, but I would have thought making a ukuleles might even be harder than making a full size guitar, because it's like fiddly, isn't it, and small.
Tiny.
Like the bigger stuff it tends to get that a little bit easy, don't it? But I'm probably upsetting a lot of guitar people here.
Yeah, by the way, guitars are really easy to make, by the way. Tim said that.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't see the power carve them and sound. And then, Welsh Thomas won it, and he did. It was like a slab top, which was technically an offcut or something, and it does help when he has his own sawmill. And then he sort of made his own plywood out of scraps, and did like crisscross bow tie sort of things, like to keep it like together. And then he made the legs out of slate, which was an offcut, but obviously it's not wood, but some scraps of slate, which were incredible. And then he gave that. I think he raffled it off for a homeless charity as well. So just brilliant all round, really.
So there was certainly a lot of people get involved with it. And it is a really good challenge. Just it sort of shows people the sort of what you can do with what. I mean, quite often the stuff I'd throw away. Again, same we use an awful lot now on this podcast. One man's treasure is another man's. So one man's rubbish is another man's treasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've actually got a full bin of scrapboards over there now. I've got 2 little shelves over there. So I'll be delving into that. I've got piles of plywood off cuts up there. So I'll be delving into all that for my. I don't know what I'm doing. I do yet. It's one of those things. Even though I've known about this, and obviously this has been sort of pre-planned for several months about me doing the the YouTube video and all that. I've got no idea what I'm going to do at all. I've got no idea because
No,
the thing is,
I'll be making something, but I don't know.
But because the problem is, it's not just a case of I mean, I just do it to help sort of like promote other channels like yourself and stuff, because it's just a good. I just think it's good to promote each other and all that, because it doesn't harm for us to do all work together. And
No, that's it. Yeah.
but the standard of work that stuff goes in, so it's not as if I can't. So I'm sort of thinking, I've got to really put some real effort in it, because
Yeah.
I'll take myself out the running. I'm not interested. I don't need to, be in the running of the competition in any sense of the thing. But even still, I want to sort of like try and put something forward where it could win, if you know what I mean, hypothetically.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I want to really try but seeing the standard of the work that people are going to be putting in, and knowing some people are going to be entering, I almost feel like I shouldn't even bother entering.
To be honest, right, I wouldn't enter it if I could do, because there's no way I'd win.
No,
Absolutely no chance.
Yeah,
Unless I made like an actual life-size shark or something like that. That's the only chance I'd have.
Oh, shark. No, I can't do a shark. I don't know. I've got so many ideas, little things. But anyway, but yeah, everybody, please go and check out Tim's Instagram. Go and give him a follow. All the details will be on our page as well as his page as this sort of goes live. Please also go on to Apple, hit the 3 dots, go down to the bottom, rate our show, give us 5 stars. Once we get to 500 reviews, we are having a giveaway. There will be a prize for the USA. There'll be a prize for Australia, New Zealand, and one for the UK. They will be decent. We don't know what they are yet, because I haven't wangled them out with the companies yet, but they are going to be there. So again, please go and give Tim a shout. Thanks very much for coming on today, Tim. It's been a pleasure, as always.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, mate. Cheers.
So you will find us on all Audible platforms and YouTube. Make sure you get in contact with any questions on any of our social media pages or the Wooden Work page. Thanks very much, everyone, and we shall catch you next time.